before your eyes close or your attention turns inward. Pause for a moment and acknowledge that simply arriving here already represents a shift. Not because you are trying to stop anything, change anything, or control yourself more forcefully, but because you are choosing to understand rather than fight. Social media habits do not begin with weakness, and they are not sustained by failure of character. They emerge because the human nervous system is exceptionally good at learning patterns that promise relief, connection, novelty, or distraction. Today's session is devoted to clarity, not correction. As you allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position, let your body recognize that nothing is being taken away from you. There is no deprivation here, no restriction. There is only awareness. Take a slow, natural breath and notice how your body already knows how to slow itself when it feels safe. This is important because habits dissolve more easily in safety than in pressure. As your breathing finds a steady rhythm, begin to sense the space around you, the support beneath you, and the simple fact that in this moment, you are not scrolling, not reacting, not consuming. You are just here. That alone begins to loosen the grip of compulsion. Now, gently bring your attention to the idea of social media, not as a problem, but as a learned loop. Every habit has three essential parts: a cue, a behavior, and a reward. For social media, the cue might be boredom, uncertainty, loneliness, stress, or even the smallest pause in activity. The behavior is reaching, tapping, scrolling. The reward is subtle but powerful: stimulation, distraction, reassurance, novelty, or momentary relief. None of these are wrong. The nervous system was never designed to resist rewards. It was designed to remember them. When your phone lights up or your mind senses a gap, your brain predicts comfort before you are consciously involved. This prediction happens quickly, automatically, and impersonally. It is not you choosing poorly. It is a system doing exactly what it has learned to do. Let that understanding land without judgment. Feel how different it is to view your habit as a pattern rather than a flaw. As this perspective settles in, notice how the body responds. There may be a softening, a slight exhale, or a reduction in internal pressure. Shame tightens habits, understanding loosens them. Now imagine the habit loop gently revealing itself. You notice the cue arise, perhaps as restlessness in the body or a sense of emptiness in the mind. Before the urge pulls you forward, simply observe it. This urge is not dangerous. It is energy looking for direction. It is information, not an order. Today's work begins by teaching the nervous system this simple but profound distinction. Urges are signals, not commands. Feel how empowering that idea is when it is felt in the body rather than thought through intellectually. Signals can be listened to without being obeyed automatically. Commands feel urgent. Signals feel informative. As you continue breathing, imagine slowing down time just slightly around these moments. Not stopping behavior, not resisting it, just seeing it more clearly. When awareness enters a habit loop, choice begins to exist again. Hypnosis works by bringing unconscious patterns into gentle awareness without alarm. There is no need to rip anything away. Instead, the mind learns to pause naturally because it understands what is happening. social media often promises relief from discomfort, yet rarely delivers lasting satisfaction. This is not because you are using it incorrectly, but because short bursts of dopamine were never meant to replace sustained fulfillment. The brain receives stimulation, then quickly seeks more, creating a cycle that feels like hunger rather than nourishment. Recognizing this does not require willpower. It simply requires honesty. Let yourself acknowledge how scrolling sometimes leaves you feeling scattered, tired, or oddly unsatisfied. There is no blame here, only recognition. The subconscious learns fastest when patterns are seen clearly and calmly. As this realization deepens, feel your nervous system beginning to understand that constant stimulation is not the same as regulation. Calm comes from steadiness, not speed. Now imagine the space between urge and action widening just a little. In that space, there is curiosity. What am I actually needing right now? Connection, rest, reassurance, stimulation, distraction. Social media has been one way to answer those needs, but it is not the only way. Today, you are not replacing anything yet. You are simply noticing. Notice how urges rise and fall like waves. They build, peak, and pass even when you do nothing. This teaches the body that urges are temporary states, not emergencies. When the nervous system learns this truth, compulsion loses intensity. You are not suppressing the urge, you are allowing it to complete its cycle naturally. That alone begins to weaken the loop. Now bring awareness to the part of you that reaches automatically. This part is not trying to harm you. It is trying to help you feel better, safer, or less alone. Thank it silently for its intention without giving it control over your actions. This compassionate acknowledgement reduces internal conflict, and conflict is what keeps habits stuck. When the mind stops fighting itself, change becomes possible. As your body relaxes further, imagine awareness becoming your new baseline response. Awareness before reaching, awareness before scrolling, awareness without tension. This does not require vigilance. It feels more like waking up from autopilot. You notice your hand moving, your attention drifting, and you gently come back. There is no urgency, no self-criticism, just return. Each return strengthens conscious choice. Neuroplasticity research shows that awareness itself rewires habits, especially when paired with calm emotional states. Anxiety reinforces compulsion. Calm dissolves it. Now allow the phrase, "I can notice without obeying," to settle into your subconscious, not as an affirmation, but as a lived truth. Notice how your body responds to that idea. Perhaps there is a sense of space, a slowing, or a subtle confidence. This is the beginning of agency. Agency does not mean control through force. It means freedom through understanding. As the session continues, imagine the next time you feel the pull to scroll. See yourself noticing the cue, feeling the urge, and pausing just long enough to breathe. That pause is powerful. In that pause, the nervous system relearns that safety does not depend on immediate stimulation. This learning accumulates quietly over time. You do not need to succeed every time. Habits weaken through awareness, not perfection. Even a single moment of noticing counts. Let that reassurance sink in deeply. Now notice how to return to when it is not constantly interrupted. As you rest here, your mind and body are practicing a different mode of being, one that is receptive rather than reactive. This mode becomes more familiar each time you enter it. Over the coming days, this familiarity will grow. Today is simply about recognition. You are learning how the loop works, so it no longer feels mysterious or overpowering. Knowledge reduces fear, and fear is what often drives compulsive behavior. As this understanding integrates, feel how your relationship with yourself is already shifting. You are no longer viewing yourself as someone who lacks discipline. You are seeing yourself as someone with a nervous system that learned a habit in a specific environment. Habits can be unlearned the same way they were learned, through repetition, awareness, and safety. Take a final gentle breath and feel how grounded you are right now without any stimulation at all. This is proof that calm does not come from scrolling. It comes from presence. As you prepare to return to normal awareness, carry this understanding with you lightly. You do not need to remember it perfectly. Your subconscious has already begun integrating it. Over the next 24 hours, you may notice urges with more clarity and less urgency. That is success. This challenge is not about eliminating social media. It is about reclaiming choice. Today, you laid the foundation by understanding the habit loop and releasing self-blame. From here, control arises naturally, not through effort, but through awareness.